I should probably apologize for the lack of a gag at the beginning and, me pretty much almost falling asleep throughout this entire video. But I had like a discussion with someone up to like, 5 a.m. in the morning, and I literally had 3 hours of sleep. So, sorry if I seem kind of fucking slightly depressed. $7. Time for delivery, I guess. As it turns out, that payment was for a Lamborghini Gallardo GT Stradale, which is one of the cars which I have been selling for over 6 months. So, obviously, when selling, it is necessary that you are patient, but sometimes you simply just want to get the cards that you buy off of your hands quickly. So this is what this video is meant for, pretty much. I will be given, a list of cards which, in my personal experience, have sold super fast. So there's that. Also, I should probably mention that I won't be listing showroom RRC cards on this one, because they do tend to sell pretty fast, but I'm here for, higher, priced cards, because that's primarily what I deal with on my page. So, without, any more delays, let's go ahead and hop to, D-Class. Now, in general, D-Class is by far the cheapest car class. You can buy and max out a Civic Si for a 50k. But I'm here to talk about more expensive cars, so we will pretty much take a look at the most expensive D-Class car in the game. Now, in case you guys don't know what a Devil Civic is, it pretty much is a Honda SI with glitched headlights. So pretty much the blinkers on the normal SI are orange, but on the Devil they are gray for some reason. And this is super rare pretty much, and people are willing to pay a lot for it. So for example, the one you are watching right now, I paid $25 for this and decided to keep it. But, well, to be honest, I also sold another Devil Civic. I bought it for $25 as well, sold it for 30 few minutes later. So I don't have a lot of experience with this car, but it is still very much desirable, even though there are some cheap buybacks of it on the market. But still, if you can get one for, let's say, $20, you can sell it for, $30 for a PayPal very, very easily. Now, in C-Class, I didn't actually pick a car because there is not a whole lot of choice for a decent, desirable, car in C-Class. I mean, I guess you have the Skyline R32, but, considering that there are buyback versions and crate versions on the market, you won't exactly get far with that. So I guess if you have to pick one, I would go for the C-Class Pontiac Firebird, but keep in mind that there are, two turret versions out there, without a blower and with a blower, and also a buyback version, which is a lot cheaper. But keep in mind that still, if you have one of those, they still take a few weeks to sell, from personal experience anyway. For B-Class, I decided to pick the 2005 Subaru Impreza. Now, up to a few weeks ago, I would probably go for the Silvia S15, because that's one of, in my opinion, that's one of the best turf cars in the game, one of the most fun and good looking, but I had one for 3 months, it just didn't sell, so I have decided to choose the Subi over that instead. And pretty much the 2005 Subi is just a phenomenal car. It's so easy to drive, it's super easy to get consistent with it. It has some really nice body kit options available. Plus, I had the world record for it, for a while, so I guess that's a good thing as well. Quite do like this car, one of my favorites. For A-Class, I was gonna pick the Camaro Z28, but there are so many versions on the market that I was able to actually just find a very specific version. So I decided to go for the WWE Camaro Z28, which is one of many versions of the Z28. It's not the most expensive one. That would be the 3 Racer Showdown versions, which are of course gold, silver and bronze. But this one is better because it's lighter, which means it's faster, so the world record for this is obviously a bit faster, and this is one of the very, very few WWE cars that was actually appreciated when that feature was still in the game back in, what was it? I think it was July 2015, so there's that. So really, if you have an option to go for this, or, let's say, a normal Camaro, you should definitely go for this one because it is more valuable. People will definitely prefer to buy this one over the normal one. So, if you find any of these, there are 2 different reps of this particular, Camaro out there, you should definitely pick up a few. They will sell pretty fast. Now for S-Class, there are a few pretty obvious choices. For example, you have the NSXRR, the Corpo Camaro, and also, the Cobra Jet, before they, gave them away and pretty much made their prices, super low. But pretty much the one I wanted to talk about was the Subi Sport. Now, I sold my one that I was gonna showcase a few hours ago, so you'll just have to, believe me. Pretty much everyone knows how a Subi Sport looks like. They have been cloned to shit. Pretty much the most cloned car in the game, but people still love them, and I mean, they are really good looking. You have tons of good looking cloned ones out there, so the prices aren't too high. Plus, it is one of the most iconic cars in the game, so it's quite reasonable why everyone wants them. For the R class, the choice is pretty obvious. I went with the Koenigsegg Agera R because it is by far the fastest one. I mean, the Koenigsegg Agera, before the Agera R was released, was already the fastest R class car in the game, and the Agera R can pretty much compete with any R2 class car in the game. It's that fast, so obviously the dominant car in our class, and by far the easiest car from that class to actually sell, excluding Stellas, but still. Now you guys might be wondering if I'll actually mention X-Class here, considering that, I skipped it on most of my other discussion videos, and yes, I will mention it. Pretty much, if you want to sell your cars quick, make sure to not buy X-Class cars, because they sell pretty much so slow. Like, it takes weeks for most of them to sell, so just avoid it. Just buy R-Class cars instead, seriously. Now, with the R2 class, exactly the opposite of X-Class, you actually cannot go wrong, pretty much, because you have the Nismo GT3s, C7Rs, C6Rs even, and most of these cars will sell pretty quickly because they are used, to pink slip very, very often. But the one I decided to go for yet again is the Bentley GT3, because it is by far the easiest to drive. I just love this car, and I listed it on, some of my other videos as well, so I do quite like this car, and personally, if I, had to only race with one car for R2 class, I would definitely go with this one because it's just that good. And finally, we have the R3 class. Now, you really just cannot go wrong with this class. I've sold at least a dozen of each car in this class, and they all sell, within a few days, even if I have multiple of them. So the one I would really point out to sell the fastest out of all of them would be the fastest car in the game, obviously, the Koenigsegg 121. Which, look, I bought 5 of them in the past 24 hours, and I only have one left, so what's that? That's a lot of money. So, pretty much, yes, the K1s will sell fastest, but if you are selling an R3 class car, you should be able to, sell it within 24 hours, so pretty much just go for this class if you want to sell fast. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Jerry. Damn, dude, this took a long time to actually make. I was expecting to make it in like an hour. Now it's been 3, so that's fucking great. Anyways, obviously I'm a bit tired. That's the reason why I rushed this part of the video. So sorry about that, but if you guys maybe want to see the cards that just don't sell or whatever, you can, leave a like, maybe a comment about that in, the comment section, obviously. My name's Jerry. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.